What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Uh, and make sure to like and make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content, right? And so, with that being said, man, this video I want to discuss Nike and LeBron James and how LeBron James tried to get basically the same deal that Michael Jordan got from Nike, right? And so now I always knew this, but I was listening to Shannon Sharp Nightcap, and they were talking about the deal that Steph Curry is getting with this new sneaker company, right? And so now Steph Curry, he recently left Under Armour. A lot of people thought that Steph Curry was going to go with Nike, but everybody, not just LeBron James, but everybody wants that deal, that lifetime deal, and that partnership deal that Michael Jordan got with Nike. And I always say, the deal that Michael Jordan got with Nike was a runoff deal. Like that was a one-off deal. It was a special deal that nobody else, I don't believe, will ever get that kind of deal, right? And the reason why is because number one, it's a different time. Number two, no, they don't really need to give that type of deal to anybody. You know, Mike was special. And so what Mike did for Nike and to help Nike, you know, become a worldwide brand, Nike rewarded Mike with the type of deal, the partnership deal that they have with you know, Jumpman, Nike, and Air Jordan and all that stuff, right? So that deal will never be, in my opinion, you know, like nobody's gonna give nobody a athlete that type of deal. And so what I want to do, I'm gonna play the audio from Nightcap with Shannon Sharp, Chad Ochocinco, and Joe Johnson, and they kind of get into this deal with Steph Curry. But the most important part I want to touch on is how LeBron James tried. Like I said, he wanted that deal that Mike got.
Foul move, signing a 10-year endorsement deal with the Chinese company Li Ning, officially ending a recruitment process following his departure from Under Armour. Part of Steph's ultimate decision was about his comfort while testing the shoes of two Li Ning signature athletes, Jimmy Butler, his fellow Warriors teammate, and Dwayne Wade. Li Ning plans to build Curry brand stores in the United States and in China. Joe, thoughts of signing Li Ning over bigger brands like Nike and Adidas?
Li Ning, obviously, they paying their cheddar, but they gotta they make a pretty good damn shoe, Uncle Ocho. Yeah, they do make a pretty good shoe. And the fact that they're over there in what, China?
Yes.
You know, I don't think the brands here in the States, meaning like the Nikes, and the Adidas and things of that sort, I don't think they're really doing too great. And I think Li Ning is actually. They've been great over the years, bro. And to get Steph Curry, to get him a signature shoe, a signature brand, to where he can sign these other guys under his brand, I think is what Li Ning is trying to do.
All right, so this is what, like I said, Steph Curry know that he's not going to get that type of deal. You hear what Joe Johnson just said. Other players will be allowed to sign, you know, that's the kind of deal Steph Curry wants, where he'll be able to sign other players, you know, under him, and he'll be able to make money off of that. And so this is the perfect opportunity for Steph Curry. I think it's kind of late in his career, but I don't know. It might work out. They might be able to work a deal with that. But LeBron James wanted this kind of deal because that's the deal. That's the ultimate deal. The deal that Mike has with Nike is the ultimate deal. But let's go on.
And I'm not so sure other brands was going to give him that opportunity. Nike is very conscious about that. Really, if you think about it, who's up under Nike? Jordan.
Yep.
LeBron hadn't been able to do that yet because LeBron said, I went to Nike about trying to sign Luka.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
KD has yet, and maybe KD doesn't want that, but I know LeBron wants to sign athletes under his
Absolutely.
brand. And He hasn't
Absolutely.
been able to do that. And I'm not so sure Nike is trying to do. I don't think they want another situation like Jordan.
And I don't think it's necessary for Nike. Like, why should Nike split? Why should Nike split profits with LeBron James by allowing him to sign Luka when they can just sign Luka themselves? Like, all right, so Michael Jordan that I know of, he has Carmelo Anthony under him. He has Ray Allen, under the Jordan brand. Let me see. Carmelo, Ray, Jamal Crawford is under the Jordan brand. And he got a few, ball players with him under the Jordan brand, right? And I think the reason why Nike allowed Mike to do that is because Mike helped him out. He got in on the ground floor, right? Nike was smaller than Adidas. They were smaller than Converse, and so they had to give Mike a special deal when Mike came in the door as incentive. And it paid off for them. Mike worked so hard in the league as a player and everything else. Like, Mike is still reaping the residuals of the hard work that he put in as a player. Whereas though, when you talk about LeBron James, not to say that LeBron James wasn't a hard worker as a player, but Nike was at a much different stage as a company by the time LeBron James came. They were much more established. So Nike don't have to offer any player that type deal, whereas though they split the profits for you because Nike can go straight to Luka. And like I said, that was done more so out of respect and appreciation for what Mike, what Mike helped do for Nike. Because if Mike don't sign with Nike, I think Mike really wanted to sign with Adidas. Right. And so if Mike signed with Adidas might now probably be what Nike is on a global basis. So that right there was, that was big.
Were they giving up $500-600 million a year?
No, and they're gonna go young. They getting these young guys. Curry got about 3-4 years left to where he's probably gonna be playing. They going younger, man. These top brands going to get these young cats and they gonna build them up.
But you also, Joe, these guys are not like when we came out, Nike was everything. But you see Cooper Flag, he went to New Balance. You see guys going to Puma, guys doing Skechers. Guys, look, hold on. How much you offer Nike? New Balance, how much you say you got? Man, give me that New Balance. Hey, let me get that.
See, everybody's trying to search for that same situation. They already know off the top, Nike not going to do that anymore. They did it with Mike. So everybody want to get the best deal they can. They're going to Nike. I mean, they're going to Reebok, New Balance, and every all these other companies, right? And Nike deal is a one-off. Nobody else in the business is doing that because everybody recognizes that you don't have to do that. You can just, if you like an athlete, you can just offer him a contract, offer him a deal. He don't have to. There's no need to have Michael Jordan recruit them because they come in one way or another, right? And there's no player in the league that is, like that generational player like Michael Jordan was that had the impact on people that Michael Jordan did. You got some popular players like Steph Curry, but Steph Curry is not Michael Jordan as far as like the attraction. Mike hasn't played in the league for almost 30 years, 20-something years. And his shoes are still the top selling shoes, for Nike. So it's a one-off. They don't need, every company recognize that they don't need these guys like that. I think the second best deal, a shoe deal, I think, is probably with Reebok and Allen Iverson, right? They got a pretty good deal, but even Allen Iverson don't have the deal that Mike have, so I just thought that it's very telling, in my opinion, that Nike did that. They're not going to do that no more. Like Shannon Sharp said, I think Mike is getting like $800 million a year from Nike, and Nike was like, why should I do that? Give one person $800 million. Mike earned that. Basically, is what I'm saying. Mike earned that. That's why Nike, Nike is still making money off of him. LeBron tennis shoes are not even selling like that. So why would you give LeBron James the opportunity to make more money when his shoes are not even really selling like that? You know, so it just don't make good business sense. And that's why you can see why Nike would turn that deal down and be like, nah, thanks, but no thanks. You know, and so that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. With that being said, man, I'm gonna check y'all out in the next video. Peace.